Abduction, Chapter 14, Part 1. There was no way to explain the distinctive smell of woman's perfume. I would have to hope Echo would accept my explanation. I still carried Natasha's note with me, but I was indecisive if this would help me make my case or condemn me to the couch eternally. If our relationship were on better terms, I would have little to worry about. We cleared the air the other night, but I wouldn't say everything was roses. On the contrary, there were still other sticking points that needed to be ironed out. Echo and Tatiana were seated at the table with a pot of tea sitting between them. I sensed their mood was serious but light. The topic was UFOs. I should have known it would be something normal like our best friend's upcoming wedding. But Echo had a bone to chew, and she wasn't about to let it go until she knew for sure about the UFOs. That's what got us in trouble in the Belarusian exclusion zone. Tatiana says that she found another couple for us to visit, said Echo. I found someone that says she has an abduction story as well, I muttered as I saw Echo sniff the air. You tell your story first, muttered Echo as she glued her eyes on me. Echo's tone was one of amusement more than jealousy. I hadn't expected that she would react with a lighter attitude. I knew better. If I didn't lay out every detail, I was toast. Valery is non-committal about Maxim's interest in UFOs. Personally, I think he knows a lot more about people's disappearances in the city than he lets on, I said. He may even have a hand in people going missing, but as far as UFOs are concerned, Valery does all the footwork. Did you see Maxim and ask him his thoughts? Questioned Echo. Valery and Natasha both said Maxim was not in the sporting club. Oh, so her name is Natasha? Asked Echo with an amused smile encroaching upon her lips. I was confused by Echo's nonchalance about my spontaneous mention of Natasha. I expected a sharp rebuke, but I got a ribbing instead. She gave me this note, I muttered, handing it to Echo. I'm not sure if she is credible, but she wants to meet. Echo perused the letter and handed it to Tatiana. I think you should call her and ask more questions before meeting with her. You don't mind? Tatiana handed the letter back to Echo and looked at me. I think this girl knows something that can help, but you will have to go by yourself, for she will not talk. Yes, Richard, I mind you spending time with another woman by yourself, muttered Echo. But I have to trust you. You are doing this for me, and I appreciate that you're putting the effort into solving this mystery. It did sound like Echo of old, the one before we had issues with our relationship, and the change of attitude had me wondering what she and Tatiana talked about before me coming home from the gym. As I stood, stunned, Echo looked at me with an amused look. She had left me speechless, and she knew it. How do you know Natasha's telling the truth? I asked, as I took a seat at the table, leaving the awkward feeling I had with both women staring up at me. I don't, muttered Echo. But I know you, and you will find out the truth behind what this girl has to tell you. And Tatiana's right. This girl will not talk with me around. You have to go by yourself. Here I was afraid I would be berated for even talking with the beautiful woman alone. But Echo was right. I wouldn't dream of cheating on her. I started to question why I hadn't asked her to marry me yet. My dedication to her would never waver, but I still couldn't pull the trigger and get on one knee and propose to her. I would have to think about it at a later time. Okay, I'll call Natasha later and get more information over the phone, I said. But I have one more thing to tell you. I received 2 sets of raised eyebrows as if what I told them already wasn't scandalous enough. The feeling was strange. I had faced board of directors' stares without a hint of apprehension. That's not entirely true. You don't start your business and not be nervous when all eyes are on you. On the contrary, it takes a few times to get past being the center of attention. Some people thrive on this sort of scrutiny. It took me quite a few meetings to feel comfortable. The looks the girls were giving me gave me a squirrely feeling in my stomach. Tatiana gave me a look that I just said something unbelievable. It probably would not bother me. It was Echo's look that made me feel uncomfortable. I already laid out at their feet the possibility that I would be meeting with a gorgeous Ukrainian woman. Now I had another secret to tell. While I was in the sauna with Valery, prodding him for answers about Maxim's interest in UFOs, I spilled out like a preteen giving away all his secrets to his parents. Natasha opens the door to the room. I was shocked that she would be able to walk into the men's sauna room. Tatiana shrugged. It's a male and female spa there. It's not shocking. Echo tossed her gaze to her friend. Do they go into the spa naked? That's up to them, replied Tatiana. Most do not. They wear a towel around their bodies. Echo then looked at me. Her eyes were wide and demanding an answer. And was she wearing clothes? Natasha works at the sporting club. Of course she was wearing clothes, I replied, thankful it was the truth. It still didn't help the tingling feeling on my toes because I knew I had been alone in a spa without Valeri, and she got stripped down and joined me. How would I leave that part out? She had to relay a message to Valeri. Maxim has invited us to dinner at his house. Did she have a message for you? Muttered Echo with a stern look. That was the voice of the Echo I had come to know lately during our many days of fighting. No, only the letter she placed in my locker. Apparently, she does not want Maxim to know what she has to say about the abductions. Why would that be? Asked Echo. She works for him. How come she doesn't just come out and tell him? I think she has tried, but Maxim shuts her down, said Tatiana. He wants to hear from Valeri what he thinks. If she knows something, she should just tell him, muttered Echo to her friend. Maxim Volkov is old school, Soviet male. He won't listen to this girl unless she asks for her to speak, said Tatiana.